Protests in Arab countries have been taking place since the start of the Israeli assault. While the anger is directed at Israel, it is also increasingly leveled at the pro-Western governments of Jordan and Egypt. The leaders of these nations are being criticized for not doing enough to help the besieged Palestinians of Gaza and for past criticism of Hamas.
Supporting Gaza is a duty for every Arab and Muslim.
The gap between the so-called Arab street and Arab rulers has existed for some time, but now the divide may be greater and end up benefiting Hamas. Journalist and author Thomas Lippman at the Middle East Institute says Hamas may have counted on this.
They knew that the people would see these images, the bloodied children and the destroyed mosques on television. And given that the leaders of most of these countries have signed on to the principle of peace with Israel, they wanted to drive a wedge between the so-called Arab street and the leadership in these countries.
The gap is especially wide in Egypt, where President Hosni Mubarak's government has been denounced for not allowing the passage of goods and people across its border with Gaza. Also, President Mubarak's meeting in Cairo with the Israeli foreign minister days before the air attacks began has angered many in the Arab world. Yet scenes of Palestinian casualties in Gaza and the street protests appear to be having an effect on pro-Western Arab states. Top officials from these countries have been emphasizing their support for the Palestinian people and have become more vocal in their denunciations of Israel's offensive. Middle East expert Shibli Telhami of the Brookings Institution told VOA after a Washington forum that some Arab governments may have underestimated the anger on the Arab street.
We see indications of some of them backtracking on their positions. They clearly, some of them would like to see Hamas weakened, but they're also worried about the casualties, particularly the civilian casualties, and the public's anger. And if this is sustained over a period of time, they face a lot of pressure.
Yet it's unclear whether the pressure will be enough to change their views of Hamas, which these governments see as a threat. Author Thomas Lippman says there are several reasons for this antipathy.
Some of them regard Hamas as an Islamist threat. Some of them were angry at the way Hamas basically seized power against the Palestinian Authority, which the others had recognized and accepted into the Arab League. And I would say that some of them suspect, even if they don't know, that Hamas is an agent of Iran.
While the anger on the Arab street may not be enough to destabilize moderate Arab governments, experts say it could challenge their legitimacy and undermine their close ties with the United States. Bill Rodgers, VOA News.